So we're going to call the May 16th, 2020 Chandlers Landing Community Association Board of Directors meeting to order at 10:02. Mr. Vice President, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we have a quorum. All board members are present.
Okay. Coming out of executive session, we had a motion. Bruce, did you want to?
No.
Okay. All right. So are we doing anything with that motion? Is that dying?
Died.
Dying. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to move into ratifying electronic votes that were made April 19th or April 18th for the meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I will make a motion to move to approve the meeting minutes from the April meeting that we ratified electronically.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 That was you.
Aye.
I think. Okay. Okay. Good, Bruce. All right. So that's unanimous. Okay. That moves us into reports. I will start off. There's been a lot going on lately. We've had everything from pool on our agenda. We've had a fairly serious issue that we took care of here just a few days ago in the community. We have construction demo getting close to wrapping up down at the club. We also have finalizing of the loan process going on. We have, just continued COVID aspects of things throughout the neighborhood. And we're also identifying a lot of projects for the coming years as far as the ability to organize. Hold on, I'm needing to admit some more people here. As the ability to identify and organize repairs to infrastructure such as streets. We have a lot of wood retaining walls, and so we're creating documents on all of these so that we can properly identify the future action items, categorize them based upon their need, importance, and then the continued aspect of COVID from a security standpoint. So it's been a very, very, very busy month with a lot of fast changing information. Overall, a lot of progress in all of those areas, and appreciate the board and all the work that they've done on that. Just wanted to give a quick summary of kind of what's happening behind the scenes over the last 4 or 5 weeks. And then let's move into Treasury Report from Scott. Scott, are you there?
Okay, yeah, I'm here. Treasurer's Report. Again, T's done a great job. The financials are all posted and up, and so take a look at them. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to T or myself, either one. We'll be glad to get back with you and answer quickly. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. T, that moves us over to you for your management report.
Okay, good morning, everyone. The office continues to be open by appointment. Even if you don't make an appointment, just knock on the door. We're happy to come to the door. We have masks if that's something that you need. The aging detail, we have 41% of assessments are current, 4%, which is just over 2,100, remains 60 to 90 days. The majority of detail on the aging report is within collections. I wanted to kind of give a shout out to the Yard of the Month Committee, to Chuck and to Max. They've worked to prep the small pool and the 501 pool. We're going through inspections. Chuck has ordered signage and repairs. So, and then also to the Board of Directors for the direction during these difficult times. Again, as Scott mentioned, financials are ready. We are currently working to schedule our July 2020 reserve study. We had a welcome out to 4 new homeowners in our community. And then we've had some homeowners that have really assisted during this time with maybe some wildlife issues. So if you see anything that's needed in the community, please feel free to contact the office, send us an email, give us a call, or stop by. If we are there, so if the door is locked, just knock on the door. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Chip, this would take us to security. Might have one thing on dues as well that we needed to touch on. Oh, Chip, you're muted there. Hey, Chip, you're muted.
Kevin, if you just clarify the dues situation, I'd appreciate it.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I think I don't think we're that 41% of our dues are delinquent.
Oh, right. That is the portion.
That's how it comes. Yeah, right. That's how it comes across.
41,
Sorry.
I apologize. 41% are current. My apologies. Only 4% over that amount. It's only 2,100. So we're doing very well on our collections.
Right. So that larger percentage that you're giving is a portion of those that are delinquent, not looking at the total of all residents.
That is correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chip, for pointing that
My
out.
apologies.
You're good. All right, Chip, security.
Just a couple of things. We continue to have issues with unlicensed golf cart drivers, reckless golf cart driving, and we'll talk about it later for some changes in security policy, but we continue to have primarily teenagers coming in at late night hours for nefarious activities. And so we'll be talking in new business about going back to what used to always be commonplace up until a few years ago. So to call residents first when they come in after certain hours. So I'll be bringing up a couple of motions on that. But other than that, speeding off and on continues to be an issue. So we just ask folks to slow down. We got a lot of kids out riding bicycles. Parents that are letting your children ride bikes, please remember the city of Rockwall has a helmet ordinance for anyone under the age of 18. And there are several of us on here that have been cyclists. Chandler is not exactly a great place to ride your bike, as I can attest to. People don't pay attention, so make sure your children are wearing helmets and obey the traffic signs. That's all I have.
Yeah, I'll do a quick tag on to the bike aspect. Many people do not realize this, but a bike is considered a motor vehicle to some degree, and so it's actually supposed to follow the rules of motor vehicles. So as far as side of the street that it rides on, etc. So we just want everyone to be safe and cautious, and we want no injuries. Keep it clean. All right. That takes us into old business, and we're going to get a street sign update from our vice president.
Well, we have a specification process in place with a company called Vulcan Signs. They are the street sign fabricator for the city of Rockwall. The city of Rockwall has been very helpful in giving us access to their vendor. These are not signs that will be designed to look like the city of Rockwall, because we have private streets. They wouldn't allow us to do that. But these are DOT standard street identifier type signs, along with stop signs, and other regulatory signs that we have on our street. This will be, I'm waiting for these bids to come back so we can see. We've bid this with 2 other companies. The price has not been acceptable. We're hoping to take advantage of the city's purchasing power with this company. So that's where we are on that.
Okay. Thank you for that update. And likely, not to get too much in the weeds on that one, but likely we'll be looking at some custom fabrication for the pole aspect of things, again, to make sure that we maintain a private, classy look on all of those. But now following, unlike our current signs, now following Department of Transportation specifications.
Correct.
Okay, great. All right. Moving into club construction update, but we do have a vote, I believe, that needs to be ratified on that.
Right. So I'm just asking for a motion to, and or I'll make the motion to ratify a change order for $26,000 that we ratified by electronic vote earlier in the week for approximately 4,000 square feet of 3/4 inch plywood to be installed over the flooring upstairs where the brick tiles were. It's unsafe, and in order to continue on with finishing up the demolition work for safety of all concerned, we needed to get this flooring installed.
Yeah, so can I do a little bit more clarification on that?
Sure.
When we peeled back the tiles, we found out that the floor that we've been walking on all these years was supported by 1/2 inch decking. So we've had some, that's a one type of surprise, but the other side of things has been, as we peeled back these layers, it has become very obvious that the building from a structural standpoint is really, really strong, and it would probably been very expensive to ever put it back to the state that it is with the timbers and support structure that it has. So there's been a lot of positives. This is a little bit of a negative, but it's easily fixable. You said 4,000, but I thought it was 8,000 because we're actually doing 2 layers. Is that correct?
It's actually the 4,000 is
Okay.
the 2 layers.
Okay.
So it's 2 layers of 3/4 inch plywood, tongue and groove, that will go over the 1/2 inch decking that's there now. There's a number of places where it's rotted through, that will be removed and replaced before the new plywood goes on. So this will then get all the floors evened up. We're not removing the wood floors in the grill or the ballroom. So this will get everything matched up. This includes all the brick area when you came in, and then also where the old restrooms were, which were in the worst shape, where in some cases the floor was just flat rotted out under the tile.
Okay. All right. So
I'll
we have a
second that motion if
ratify.
ready for a second.
Randy has a second. Do we have any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. All right, Lizzie and Lee, you are up to walk us through Yacht Club Wedding Market.
Do you want
Oh.
me to finish the update, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're in the final stages of the demolition. We have all the restrooms upstairs have been taken out. Of course, we found the rotted floor, which we just voted on. That flooring will be installed. We can't really finish some of the upstairs demolition of removing certain high items up on the ceiling that need to come down, because we can't, until we get the floor in, we can't bring any portable lifts in. The downstairs, all of the walls that we are going to demolish have been taken out. There's really not, there's some tile on the floor still that remains that has asbestos on the mastic, which is what holds it to the concrete. Those will be remediated by the appropriate people that do that type of work. We have all of the, so basically everything downstairs has been pretty much finished up with that exception. We have finished up all the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineering work. We submitted, I think on Wednesday, a permit set to the city of Rockwall to pull a building permit. We're finalizing, hopefully sometime next week, we'll get our firm pricing. There'll be, Mershon will be bringing in the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, the trades, to actually do an on-site inspection. So this is the best way to make sure that their pricing is in line where it should be, rather than working just off of a set of plans. We've been working on, we've removed one of the 2 walk-in coolers. This was part of the demolition. The city had actually condemned the cooler about 2 weeks before we had the fire last fall, so we used this opportunity to remove it. We also have been working along with Kemper on specifications and pricing for kitchen and bar equipment. We've gotten some pricing, revised pricing this past week. So between Kemper Operations and myself, we're analyzing those proposals to see which is works best for us financially. I think that's it, unless somebody has questions.
Anybody on the board have questions or clarifications on any of that? Nope. Appreciate the thorough update. All right, now we move to Yacht Club Wedding Market. Jose and Lee, you're up.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. We're really excited. Lee and I are both working extensively with Annie to put together a spreadsheet of all of our contacts professionally that book weddings and corporate events. We're doing research on the wedding market for her as well. They're very knowledgeable, but we're in the Dallas market, so we just want to make sure that we're using the marketing wisely. And Lee and I are both working together with Annie to get that taken care of. Whether you know or not, Annie with Kemper is all the calls for all the parties, upcoming parties that want to book with us this summer and fall. So she's fielding all the calls, and then Lee and I are kind of piggybacking with a lot of contacts that we can give Annie. And then for when we do open up, we have a great open house. We invite all these event planners to come in and book with us.
And also discussing upcoming wedding shows and having a presence there. It'd be great once we get the rooms all done and we can stage them and have great photos. And that just really kind of puts us in a space where, you know, we're back on the market and able to really showcase our new yacht club. So.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate the work that you're doing alongside Kemper, and I appreciate the numerous hours that Kemper has been giving us with their for employees. So, and very good working relationship. All right, moving into pools. So on April 20th, we received an update through our maintenance, who typically handles the permitting process. We have to permit every year. And on April 20th, the city of Rockwall told us that they were considering us a commercial pool, even though we're private, and that they would not be providing any permits until June or July when they saw fit. This information, especially during this COVID pandemic, has been fast moving, and there's lots of different perspectives on it. There's also lots of different misinformation out there. But just FYI, we have been working on this actually even before. I believe in February, We had some stuff that came out of last year that we had to get taken care of that we did. That was a no diving tile that had to be installed on the play pool aspect, I believe. And then we moved into the inspection. You have to get all of your inspections done before you can submit for your paperwork. So we moved into that phase pretty quickly at the end of April. But on top of what we've been needing to do is we're also trying to overlay the CDC guidelines for safety. Last thing that anyone in our neighborhood needs is an outbreak and it gets linked back to our pool, and that's bad optics for our neighborhood, that's bad health safety for our residents, and so we have a high level of cautious forward advancement in this. We're trying not to be overly cautious, but at the same time, it would be foolish not to spend an adequate amount of time to make sure we make wise decisions on this. Let's see. At this stage, what we have is, I believe, 2 remaining items. And T, if you want to make sure that I get all this correct, we have an electrical issue. As everyone knows, water and electricity don't go well together, and we definitely don't want to have a electrocution incident. That would be not good at all. And typically that's a fatal type thing. So not something to be messing around with. Chip, did you have another?
Yeah, I wanted to just fill in there. So I'll be meeting with the electrical contractor on Monday on a couple of topics, pool being one of them. The city requires a electrical inspection on both pools annually, at least annually, and the electrician, it has to be done by a licensed electrician. It has to be signed. He has to provide his license number. So there's certainly liability on their part as well as us. And so we'll be working to better understand some of the upgrades and repairs that need to be made. Once we make those repairs, then we'll have completed at that point all of the requirements so that we could submit the paperwork to the city of Rockwall to get our pool permit.
Okay. All right. So as far as other measures and whatnot that we're going to be taking moving forward this year, when we get to that step, which we're trying to push forward as quickly as possible, safely as possible as well. As we get to that stage, we're going to be putting, there's new pool passes that are required this year. And so as we move into that, there will be a letter of understanding that everyone's going to have to sign when they get their pool pass. Just because this year is unlike any in the history of our community. And so we want to make sure that we have a common view on all of this. We welcome questions as to the whys. We've spent a lot of time kind of thinking through all of the different aspects. How do you guys as the board want to handle moving forward? Bruce, did you want to walk us through anything?
Yeah, basically the headline here is safety of residents. And we have some guidance on that, and we have some unanswered questions. So it's up to us to put it together, but know that that's number 1 on the list, and everything else will fall under that. We have started to work on the protocol. It will be complete probably in the next week, 2 weeks. It'll align with the electrical issue correction that Chip mentioned, and there shouldn't be any delays related to the protocol. But we will be putting together a waiver for residents as they apply for pool passes that will spell out all the conditions under which the big pool will operate.
Okay.
So more information coming shortly.
Okay. Do we have anyone else that wanted to speak on that board-wise? All good? All right. Moving on to new business.
Mr. President,
Oh, yeah.
before we move on to new business, I thought we might want to let the community know about the result at 304 Shamrock.
Thank you. Yes.
I'd like to give a shout out to the environmental committee. They take a lot of heat for things that really shouldn't fall at their feet. And I'd like the community to know what they are capable of doing and what has been done as far as 304 Shamrock. If you'd like to go ahead and elaborate on it.
You want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay. So we have for some time, this has been a problem in our community. It's been a safety issue. We can't just go in and tear something down. And so we went to the city. The city has had a few show cause hearings in its history. It's never approved one. We recently were able to get a unanimous decision from the city council, Rockwall City Council, to demolish the property. There is a process that has to happen as far as they have the ability to respond to that, etc. And there's some timelines, but we are moving in the right direction to get a property that has become a detriment to our community removed. And we're working to see that through as best we can. Anything else that I failed to mention on that one, Randy?
Yeah, I'd also, Mr. President, I'd also like to give a shout out without naming, but a resident close by who was very instrumental in working through the process and certainly has been more than understanding and supportive of CLCA and the environmental committee to make this happen. So this is a serious safety measure. It's a blight on our community, and so I know we'll be looking forward to it getting knocked down here, hopefully in the near future.
Yes, I know we hear the words unprecedented a lot these days. I'm kind of tired of the word, but I would say that this decision by the city council, first time ever approved, it is unprecedented, and we're very grateful for the many hours that went behind making this decision and the presentations that were. Thank you very much for also mentioning the resident. Okay. Moving on, Chip, I believe this is going to be on your side of things for the updated security policy.
Okay, in your packet, this is really to help address two things. We have ongoing challenges with carloads of teenagers coming in the community, giving a legitimate address, don't always end up at that address. We don't really have any way to ensure that. And we have already the signs posted, we just have not been enforcing this. But I would like to offer up two changes for us to vote on today. So the first is on these carloads of teenagers that come in is that we would get ID from the driver. We'll record that information, and then along with that, ask the other individuals in the vehicle to identify themselves. If any or all of them refuse to do that, we just would turn them away. We wouldn't let them in. And then the second item I'd like to get approval on is when we at one time did this is from midnight. I know it says 5 a.m., but I actually need to change it to 6 a.m. So any vehicle coming into the community from midnight on, and there's really not that many, but we've had a couple instances recently. Just as an example, the other morning at 5 a.m., we had a car with some teenagers come in, gave a legitimate address, but they never went there. We found them actually down at the Yacht Club in an area they shouldn't have been at. So what we'd like to do is just implement call first policy. So if they come up to the vehicle comes up to the gate at midnight, we're going to ask where they're going. We're going to call a resident, identify them, call the resident and see, get their permission to let them in. This will cut back on these types of activities. So, and again, this used to be a policy. I don't know when it went away, but when Bruce and Scott and I were on the board previously, this was the nighttime policy, and we'd like to re-implement it.
Okay. Do we have any questions or clarifications?
Yeah, Chip, on the second point, the midnight to 6, I presume that's all vehicles and not just teenagers, is that right?
Yeah, it's all vehicles.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
So I'll make the motion for the items in that's in the packet. With the change on number 2, I actually have typed 5 a.m., but it needs to be 6 a.m. So I'll make the motion with the change on number 2 from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. To call first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lizzie for second. Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Okay. All right. Next takes us on to summer aquatic program options.
Mr. Chairman, or Mr. President, I would like to make a motion that we table this item until such time as we worked out what the swimming pool opening dates, hours, and protocol is going to be. I think it'd be best use of our time to table this for the time being.
Okay.
I'll
Second.
make that form of a motion.
Okay. We got a second from Bruce. All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Also unanimous. Okay. Scott, I believe you are up for race week update.
Yeah, just that we haven't talked about it in a while. So many other things happening, but the dates for the race week are the same as been in previous years. It's the Wednesdays through Saturday before Father's Day on Sunday.
Okay.
So it's 17th to the 20th.
17th through the 20th of June.
Yes.
And when if anybody wants to take part in it, when do they need to have their application in or registration rather?
Well, registration's done online at Regatta Networks,
Okay.
and you select Dallas Race Week, and it'll come up, and that's where you register.
Okay. Very good. Anything special this year? Are they doing like a face mask award or?
No, unless you're sponsoring it. It's,
No. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay.
What? No.
Fair enough.
You'd be uniquely qualified.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. Also, Scott, with you, fireworks update?
Yes. Obviously this whole COVID-19 thing has caused throwing a wrench into the whole gear works of putting on fireworks shows this summer. And I'm going in front of City Council on Monday to request funding to pay for the fireworks that would be in front of the landing and in front of the Hilton. And so I should hear back from them Monday.
Okay. Was there any vote that we needed to make on support? We've done that in years past.
That's right. Nope, nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
No.
Very good. So as far as fireworks shows, I know you're going before them, but do we have any idea on dates for potential shows?
Yes. The potential shows are the Saturday night of Dallas Race Week, is June 20th. Then obviously the 4th, on the 4th of July, that evening at 9:30. And there'd be one here at the landing and one in front of the Hilton. So both those.
Okay. Very good. All right. And then we're going to the second annual Taste of Chandlers. Is Joe?
Mr. President,
Yes, ma'am.
permission to share my screen with the chairman of the fireworks committee.
Yes, permission granted.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, Joe.
Lauren,
And Joe?
Hey, thanks for giving me a couple minutes this morning. To pony on what Scott was talking about with the fireworks, not only is Chandler's known as a great community and putting on good fireworks shows, because I travel quite a bit. And I meet people that like, oh, I know where that is. I heard about your fireworks shows. So last year we did a fundraiser, and it was called the first annual Taste of Chandlers. And basically, we have a lot of good grillers in Chandlers Landing, as many of us found out. And one of the things Tony DiMaggio and I and Phil Bishop are pretty much the heart of, and of course Scott, one of the things that we wanted to keep alive is getting the residents involved in fundraising for the shows, and so that we can have shows today and in the future. So last year's event was around the pool. It was pretty successful. It was one of our best fundraisers. This year, because of the coronavirus and with everything going on with the club, I partnered with Chandler's Marina to get access to the walkway, which begins in front of ADOC, then of course goes all the way down to their beach. And I have to carry one-day event insurance. And I have also gotten sponsors from Sideways Barbecues back in this year. The Rockwell Sheriff's Posse is going to have a couple riders on horseback displaying roping techniques for kids and people that want to learn about what they do. I met one of them on an airplane. So we're going to have all kinds of food. We're going to have entertainment. There'll be a guy there playing guitar that normally plays it sideways. The marina has a boat club that a lot of people don't even understand how it works. You pay a fee year round, no dockage fees, and you can take a boat out. And they're going to have a tent out there telling our residents and people that come in and off the lake how that program works. So it's kind of a community event. And then with the race week going on, which I always enjoy every year, watching the boats and the competitive racing, it's just going to be kind of a nice weekend to be on the lake. Hopefully it's not. I'm glad it wasn't today.
I am too.
Awesome.
So I'm going to put a little. I'm going to work with Cheryl McMahon to put a little information on the board this week to look for anybody that would like to grill or to volunteer. Though I've got a pretty good group already, and I just wanted to tell the board what I was doing because I always do.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, what's the date for that? Is that Saturday, June 20th?
It'll be Saturday, June 20th from 12 to 3. And one thing is, one of the reasons I chose that location, we have a walkway there with some nice shade where the fence will be, but there's a turnaround there. And people that want to just come and get a barbecue lunch and buy a raffle ticket, because we're going to launch the raffle, I'm going to donate a couple round trip tickets on Southwest whenever they want to use them. The marina's going to be offering boat rentals, wave runner rentals. Scott's going to give me a couple tickets for sale with Scott. Sideways is going to give me some food certificates. So we've got enough there to kind of get people going with that. And we will probably run that all the way through Labor Day and do the drawing on Labor Day. So basically, it has good access. People can come by golf cart, scooter, walk, and
That's
still
great.
social distancing, of course.
Awesome.
of course.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that update. That's very exciting. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Evan.
Thank you, Joe. All right. That has us basically to the end of our agenda, moving into the owner visitor forum. Do we have anything else before we move into the owner visitor forum?
The only thing I'd like to mention, Mr. President, is that Cheryl and the events team has done an amazing job keeping our kids active and our adults active with the scavenger hunts and all the other events that have taken place with the Easter Bunny. So during these challenging times, I just want to give a big shout out to the events team and Cheryl for putting together such fun activities for all of us.
Yeah, thank you very much for mentioning that. They have been incredibly helpful. And this has been an incredibly challenging time for people everywhere, and our neighborhood is no different in a lot of that. But our neighborhood is different in what we have to offer during these times, and the event committee has gone way above and beyond to make sure that there was stuff almost every week going on. So thank you very, very much. All right. So we're going to move into the owner visitor forum. Now we're online here. So you should at the bottom have the ability to raise your hand, whether you're on a mobile device or on a desktop computer. And that's how we're going to go through that. And then we'll unmute you. We can have a conversation. You can speak, and then we'll move on to the next one. So reminder, we try to keep everything to about 3 minutes to make sure that everyone has time to speak and we don't run crazy long there. But let's move into that right now. Does anybody have anything they'd like to address? I'm not seeing any hands going up. I'll give it a bit more time here.
Go, Cody.
No questions? Or, okay. I'm trying to move slow here because I don't want it to be a technical issue and someone not get to speak that wanted to.
Evan, I don't mind putting my cell phone number out there if anyone wants to text me to be unmuted.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and do that as well. If anybody has a question and is struggling from a technological standpoint, if you can, Lee, if you'll give them your number.
What's that? You see it?
So that'd be 469-767-4080.
Yep.
I'm gonna read it again. 469-767-4080.
Sorry, I guess it's backwards, isn't it?
So if you, Lee is going to be standing by to receive any texts. We'll give this a couple more minutes, again, just to make sure that we're not running into a technological issue here.
Evan, can you tell the attendance?
We've got 28.
While
Anything on your end, Lee?
While we're waiting, public service announcement. So Rockwall County Emergency Management just issued a flood watch until 1 a.m. Sunday morning. So just a time filler.
Okay. Stay safe out there. Thank you for the rain.
Yeah,
Everything.
It's a huge,
Whoa.
yeah, just goes all day. It goes all, it's from here to Austin. I know you can't really see that very well, but yeah.
Goodness gracious.
That's right over us.
It's a huge storm.
Nothing yet.
Okay. Just in the interest of making sure, we'll give it just a couple more minutes.
Uh-oh, Linda Honeycutt.
Yep. All right. She wants to be unmuted?
I think so,
Or
yes.
she texted you a question?
No, she just, I think she wants to be unmuted.
Okay, great. I will do that right now. Linda, we should be able to hear you now.
Okay, just a second. Where was I? Oh, okay. Are you there?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
This is Linda Honeycutt at 5102 Yacht Club. I didn't hear anything about, unless I missed it, about the house on Harbor View, the monstrosity that's down on the corner. Did I miss that? Are we moving forward with a court case on that, or is it going to be demolition, or what's?
Yep, that's been in litigation, and so there's a process in order, a completion date of Chip,
Yeah, May
Um,
27th.
May 27th.
May 27th.
For that conclusion be drawn from the court.
It needs to have its certificate of occupancy by the 27th, and if not, some of the aspects of our deal will change, and this has all been agreed upon by all parties.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Anything
I
else?
said, there's been a long way to go on that.
It appears like there's it's going to be very challenging to hit that deadline, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, Lee, do we have anybody else?
Not yet.
Okay.
My number again is 469-767-4080, just in case.
I'm continuing to scroll to see for raised hands or anything like that, so doing my best not to miss anyone here. All right. I believe that takes us towards adjournment.
I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
We have a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. All right. Thank you all for joining with us today, and stay safe out there and dry. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.